right, everybody, what's going on? I'm already live. Just trying to wait for some of you guys to come on. Hope I'm anticipating, not a big crowd, but I'm anticipating some people to show up. This is going to be my new thing every Wednesday at 7 p.m. I'm going to be going live. Reason I chose Wednesday, one, I'm off on Wednesday, so that's good. And two, Wednesday is a perfect day. Wednesday is a perfect day. It's the day right in the middle. So we can talk about the past fight that just happened this Saturday, whether it be the Jaime Munguia fight versus Gabe Rosado, or we could talk about the fight David Benavidez versus Kyron Davis, or we could talk about the fight upcoming in Terrence Crawford versus Sean Porter. So that's why I chose Wednesday as a perfect day. Again, I'm also off. Everything just works out. And yeah, I'm going to have some of you guys try to call in. I'm going to try to set this up. I'm not making any promises. This is my first time trying to make you guys call in. So if it doesn't work, please forgive me. But that's what I will try to be doing today. I'm just waiting for some of you guys to jump on before I put that up. Matter of fact, let me see if I can do it now while not a lot of people are on. Let me see. Boom. Let me see. Oh, no. Hold on. I got to do it this way. Yeah, man, I'm super excited for this live, man. I've been planning it all day, talking about it all day to my, and hold on 1 second. Yo, Ruben, what's up? This is my boy, Ruben. What's going on, brother? Thanks for showing up. I'm just waiting for a few more people to show up so I can start talking a little bit more about boxing. If you have any questions personally yourself, we could just do it one-on-one until more people show up. I am anticipating some people to show up. So don't worry about that. It's hopefully, all right. All right. Boom. There you go. Let me know if there we go. I just pinned the stream. So if you guys want to call in, whether using your face, where your face shows, or you just want to use the audio, that's fine. But just click the pin, what I pinned there, and it should be. Dave Martinez, what's up, brother? How you doing, my brother? If you want to call in, just click the pin. I pinned the comment on the chat section. If you can't call in, that's fine with me. But I just want to give the opportunity to anybody who's interested in. My man Ruben says, I don't believe Canelo's next fight is a walk in the park for him. Neither do I, man. I'm one of the people, I respect weight. When people go, oh, man, he could beat this guy. Man, listen, I respect weight. When you move up in weight, and in this case, he's moving up 32 pounds. I don't care how good you are. At some point, weight matters. Now, I do think Canelo still wins. I think Canelo beats Makubu. But I don't think that he doesn't get hurt. He doesn't get, cut, doesn't get dropped, something along those lines, because at the end of the day, this guy's a world-class fighter. He's a puncher too. I believe he has 28 wins, 26 knockouts. He has 2 losses, both losses by knockout, which is interesting. But I don't think Canelo's moving up weight and knocking out Makubu. Like, nah. Listen, I'm a Canelo fan, as y'all know, but I don't think so. And also, I made a video on this today. It came out literally, 20 minutes ago. So I doubt you guys have seen it. It's about Canelo Alvarez moving up in weight to fight Alunga Makubu. And it's a warning how you should be careful moving up in weight. You should be careful when you move up in weight. Look what happened to Roy Jones. Roy Jones moved up in weight from 175 to heavyweight to fight John Ruiz. He got a title there, right? Oh, shit. He got a title. Yay. When he moved back down, he was never the same. Gaining all that muscle and muscle mass to withstand fighting a heavyweight, in this case for Roy Jones, when he lost all that muscle to go back down, it took something out of him, and he was never the same. He had a really, really tough fight where some people thought he lost against Antonio Tarver, then rematched him, got knocked out in the second round. Then fought Glenn Johnson, got knocked out. And he was just never the same after that. I don't even think he became world champion after that. I think that was it. That was the end of his prime. The end of Roy Jones' prime, we can mark it. It was his last fight against John Ruiz. And yeah, it's so I just want Canelo to see that and learn from that, because Canelo's on that Roy Jones type level. Canelo, undisputed, you know, a bunch of weight classes, weight divisions, has fought tough competition, Triple G and Kovalev and Floyd Mayweather and Erislandy Lara. So I don't think it's a good idea for him to move up and weight like that, you know? Let me see. No way Canelo knocks him out. I did catch your video on Roy. That messed him up. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about right now. Good looking out, Dave, for watching the video. But yeah, I don't think Canelo knocks him out either. I mean, Canelo's a hard puncher, don't get me wrong, but again, it's 32 pounds. That's a lot of weight for you to move up and knock some guy out who's a world champion. Now, to be fair, Makubu did get stopped by Tony Bellew, who's a natural 175 pounder. Again, he's not as small as Canelo, but he is a smaller man than Makubu and was able to stop him, you know, pretty early too, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think Canelo gets a stoppage because, one, he's naturally smaller than Tony Bellew, who did get the stoppage. And also, you know, Canelo is going to be aware that he's in a dangerous zone. He's not nowhere near Makubu's size. At least Tony Bellew was, I believe, taller than Makubu and ended up fighting him and ended up getting the stoppage. But, you know, it wasn't without him getting dropped in that first round. So it's not like, oh, yeah, he stopped him and he didn't get touched up. Maybe Tony Bellew could take that punch because he's naturally bigger than Canelo. Maybe Canelo can't. I don't like this fight. He has a lot of fights that he can do, and he's just choosing not to for whatever reason. All right, hold on. I got my man. There you go. Oh, I'm loving this. You guys can jump on.
All right.
What up, brother? This is one of my personal friends, one of my good friends outside of this whole YouTube space. He's helped me out a lot with the YouTube channel. So I just want to say, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up? You know, over here, the second floor's falling apart. But
hold on one second. Oh. Yeah, go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, to touch bases on Canelo moving up to weight, yo, this guy holds the WBC belt right now, and he's a lot bigger than Canelo Alvarez is.
I mean, the thing is, Canelo's looking at this as a legacy grab. You know how a lot of people move up and weight or fight a fighter for a money grab? This is a legacy grab, I feel. He's moving up in weight. He's trying to do somewhat what Roy Jones did, except Roy Jones did it at heavyweight. He's doing it at cruiserweight. So he's trying to be like, oh, you know, I'm a 5-division world champion. But if this was going to be his last fight and he was going to retire, I would be like, yes, do this last fight for your legacy. Kind of like what Lennox Lewis did with Vitaly Klitschko. He fought him, beat him, and it was like, all right, whatever you accomplish from here on, I got your name on my resume. So but the fact that I know Canelo Alvarez is not going to move up and stay at cruiserweight, I don't think it's a good idea, because that weight loss coming back down when you got to cut weight to get 168, it takes something out of you, and we have evidence with that with Roy Jones.
Yeah, and I would also like to add that in the cruiserweight, if you lose by knockout, I could understand it, because that's, a lot of these guys that are fighting in cruiserweight, they could fight in heavyweight if they really wanted to.
Yeah,
and that's a lot.
And defense, Canelo's a good fighter. Canelo, we all see him with the shoulder rolls. He rolls with punches. He does a lot of good things, but you got to respect weight. Weight matters. Like when people go, oh, when there's a saying in boxing, there's weight divisions for a reason. There's that saying for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't see, and also it's not like a fight, you know, the fans are really asking for. You know, the fans are asking for you to fight Benavidez or Charlo or Triple G or Better Be. These are the fights the fans want. So
I'm not even interested in watching that Charlo versus Canelo.
I hope
I'm really not.
That's the one fight that's rumored for him to get that I really don't want him to get because I don't want Charlo to be his ducking to be rewarded. Charlo ducked his way around the whole 160-pound weight division. He never fought Andre, never fought Triple G. Benavidez has called him a pussy, had told him move up in 68 and fight me, or I'll move down to 160 and fight you. And it gets to a point where it's like, all right, like who are you fighting instead of these guys? The only fight at middleweight that I like that he's fought is what's his name? Dervinchenko. That was a good fight, and I respect that win. But other than that, like Fernando Montiel, Hugo Centeno, like who are you really fighting when you could fight Andre for unification? You could fight Ryota Maroda for unification. You could fight Triple G for unification. You can fight Lara, a tough contender, a guy who's fought with Canelo. So I don't want his ducking to be rewarded. So that's the one fight that Canelo's rumored that I really hope he doesn't get.
I just don't think it makes for a good fight, to be honest. I think it's Canelo all the way one-sided.
I mean, yeah, I guess. But some people like, seeing a one-sided knockout, kind of like Mike Tyson back in the day. Some people like stuff like that,
Yeah, that's true. But back to Canelo's fight. He did get knocked out twice, but I wouldn't count him out. Like you said, just because of the weight also. But to me, in cruiserweight and heavyweight, if somebody gets knocked out, I still think that they potentially have a good. I mean, this guy has the belt. He has the WBC belt. Whichever way you look at it, he still won it. So even though he took 2 L's, but at cruiserweight, these are big guys throwing haymakers, throwing big bombs.
Also, you got to take into consideration. Oh, hold on. I want to give a shout out to my guy, Ricardo. What's up, brother? But yeah, so damn, I lost track of what I was saying. Oh, yeah. So we got to take into account what his 2 knockouts is. One, I believe the first knockout was his pro debut. So you got to take that into account. And, is your pro debut, maybe you're nervous, maybe you're inexperienced. Maybe you didn't know that the guy you was going to fight had a really good right hook. There's a lot of variables to why you could get knocked out in your pro debut. And then the other knockout was against Tony Bellew, which, again, we got to make a note of because Tony Bellew is naturally a 175-pounder. So if you got knocked out by a 175-pounder, what's to say you can't get knocked out by a 168-pounder? So these are things we have to take into consideration. But to be fair, I don't see Canelo stopping him. It took him 11 rounds to stop Caleb Plant, a natural 168. You telling me this guy, he went to distance with Caleb Smith. It took him 11 rounds to knock out Kovalev, and some people thought he was losing the fight to Kovalev. So, again, there's a lot of these little variables that you have to take into account. I don't think he gets a stoppage. I think he wins by decision. But again, it's not a fight I don't see the fans asking for. And then again, I'm looking long term. How is this going to affect his body afterwards? Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's all for me, though. I'm going to log out. I'll see you in the comment section.
No problem, my brother. Any questions, just hit the comment section and I'll put it up for you.
I'm not used to being live. I'm a little nervous right now. I had so much to talk to before I came on.
I like the back and forth, which is why I put the put the link in the chat, pinned it. So anybody wants to come on, whether you want to show your face or just your voice, that's cool with me.
All righty, bro. I'll see you on the next one.
See you later. All right. You see, I'm liking this. This is my first time doing this. I'm liking this. You fans could call in and ask questions. We could have a little back and forth. Again, your face doesn't have to be on it. You could just hold on. Ron, what up, baby? What's going on, brother? But yeah. So, if you guys want to come on, discuss your topic, whether it be just audio with your face, that's cool with me, man. Like, that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm trying to build. I think this had to do also with the performance of David Benavidez last fight. He didn't look that impressive against somebody that was a last-minute replacement. That's true. Meaning, why I'm saying that true is that David Benavidez didn't look that good against a last-minute replacement. But if anything, if I'm Canelo, that should incentivize me more to fight him because that's a fight that people, including myself included, that people were saying, this guy's going to give you trouble. And seeing off that performance, that the David Benavidez that fought that last fight was not going to give Canelo trouble. It's just simple as that. is not going to give Canelo trouble. And but yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't fight David Benavidez next. And again, probably the two biggest money fights, if he wants money, it's Charlo or Triple G. So I really don't see why he's staying on there at why he's moving up to cruiserweight. There's fights to be had at 175 and 168. Yeah. Black and Brown Boxing, what up, brother? Yeah, man, you can hop on. I pinned the link in the chat if you want to hop on. You know, I'm hopping on, have a little back and forth. I'm doing one at a time, though. I know your channel, you like to have 4 or 5 people. I'm doing one at a time. If you want to hop on, man, you're more than welcome to. Black and Brown Boxing. He's another boxing YouTuber. I want to say he's from Cali. I could be wrong, but he has really good content if you guys want to check him out. All right. Yo, that was a good call. Yeah, that was my guy, Ruben. That was a good call. Definitely was. All right, Ricardo. Canelo is the champ. When you unify that division, you can do as you please. I get it. The fight is not very popular, but it's still a challenge. He wants to do other things other champs haven't done yet. No. I'm not necessarily saying Canelo shouldn't do that because it's bad for the sport or anything like that. I don't think it's that. I think he just wants to advance his legacy. He's thinking as when he retires and they make an announcement, oh, Canelo Alvarez is here, the 5-division world champion. That's what he wants. Right now, he's currently a 4-division champion. So I think he's looking at it legacy-wise. I'm thinking about it from a fan's perspective. Like, one, that's not a fight necessarily I'm interested in. And 2, from a Canelo fan's perspective, I saw what happened to Roy Jones. When he moved up in weight, he got the heavyweight champion of the world. That was a cementing legacy building thing that he did. I believe he debuted at 154 pounds, ended up winning the heavyweight champion of the world. That's very impressive. But we got to look at what happened after he moved down. Once he moved down, that messed up his body, his chin. He wasn't able to take punches. He got knocked out savagely by Antonio Tarver. And then in his next fight immediately after that, he got knocked out savagely by Glenn Johnson. So I'm just going by what history shows me. You get what I'm saying? Black and Brown, you driving is all good, though. Maybe next time. Oh, there you go. Dave Martin. I believe he wants legacy. Yeah, I agree, too. That's what he wants. He's not chasing the money. Because if he was chasing the money, it would fight Triple G or Charlo. You know, I think those are the 2 biggest money fights. Or he would fight Better Beef because Better Beef is promoted by Top Rank. So the fight will be on ESPN. And you know ESPN, they've got deep pockets. They also have, you know, strong promotional tools that they can do for this fight where Bob Arum can offer them. So maybe that's also a big money fight when you look at it from that perspective. But again, I just think he should stay down here. Stay down at 160. If you want to move up to 175, that's cool. But 32, moving up 32 pounds. I know it's only 2 divisions, but when you talk about it like that, you're moving up 32 pounds to fight a champion. Even if you beat him, that on the way down is going to hurt you. It's going to hurt your body. Let's go. Let Charlo and Benavidez fight it out. Canelo said he wants to fight until he's 37. He wants to do all. He wants to do all he can to be the best. No, I agree, but Charlo's not fighting David Benavidez, man. Charlo he's not taking any risky fight until he gets that Canelo fight. Again, at middleweight, who's the tough fights he fought besides Derevyanchenko? I give him full credit for Derevyanchenko. That's a tough fighter. Somebody who people think beat Triple G in their fight. But like, who else? Hugo Centeno? Fernando Montiel? You tell me who else at middleweight he's fought. So you telling me he's going to move up to 168 and fight David Benavidez when David Benavidez has been calling him out? You know what he said? When David Benavidez was calling him out consistently, you know what Charlo said? Oh, well, he better be vaccinated if he wants to fight me, because I'm not going to fight somebody who's vaccinated or not vaccinated. It's like, what? That's not how fighters talk, man. That's not how fighters talk. So I don't think he's going to fight David Benavidez as much as I would like for that to happen, because that would show Canelo, like, listen, I earned a shot at you. And I think, honestly, I don't think that's why Charlo hasn't gotten the fight, because he hasn't proven to Canelo that he's earned it. Charlo, listen, there's only 3 fights. Well, I'll give it 4 fights that I want to see him in. And then he'll have an argument to Canelo like, yo, I want to fight you. Triple G, well, the winner of Triple G and Murata, David Benavidez, who else? Jaime Munguia, and damn, there's one more name. Andrade. There you go. And Demetrius Andrade. You fight one of those 4 fighters, then when you grab that mic after your victory, hey, Canelo, I just beat this guy. This is a tough guy. Come fight me now. Come fight me. I'm willing to move up. No catch weight. Then you have to earn, a shot at the top number 1 pound for pound. That's what that's what all these guys did. They all had a belt. That's how they earned it. You fighting at a weight class below and you want to fight the guy weight class above. You're not even taking care of the weight class you're in. Look what Canelo did. He wiped everybody out in 11 months. What are you doing? How long you been in middleweight? You haven't unified? I'm pretty sure that's Canelo's mentality. You've been in middleweight, what, 2-3 years? You haven't even unified? What's going on? So yeah, that's the way I look at it with Charlo. Like, I'm not, yeah. Let me see. What about becoming undisputed in 2 weight, light heavy and super middleweight? That would be great. That would be great, especially, and it would be an easier way of doing it, meaning easier as in less fights, because let's just say he fights Benavidez in his next fight. Benavidez has 2 of the belts. So the other 2 is held, one by Joe Smith and the other one by Dimitri Bivol. So it would just be only 3 fights to collect all 4 of the belts. So yeah, I don't see why not, but he would be giving himself a disadvantage because he's not a natural 175. Right now, his weight division is 168. So I would recommend for him to stay at 168. And again, have the guys come up. And again, if you want to go up for a one-off, but for you to make 175 your division and stay there, I don't think that's a good idea. Because eventually, one of these big guys will clip you. I can't believe David Benavidez's brother fought on the undercard and got the draw. That man lost that fight. I hate when boxing does this shit. Yeah, I mean, it was in his hometown. His brother was the main event. He got the benefit of the doubt in every round, from what it sounds like. And yeah, that's what boxing does sometimes. Like, they always give it to the hometown fighter. Not always, but sometimes. So Canelo going up in weight. If he does, he have to give up his belts. Yeah, he does. Well, no. Let me correct myself. If he moves up from 168 to cruiserweight and let's say beats Makubu, which I think he will, he would have, I believe, 30 days to announce to the sanctioning bodies what division he intends on staying on. So he would have, there'll be a grace period because you can't be champion in 2 weight divisions. Those are the rules. He chasing that Roy Jones legacy. He is. I don't know, Ron. I don't know if you saw my video that I posted. I want to say it was about an hour ago. I said that he can learn from what Roy Jones. When Roy Jones moved up, he got the heavyweight title and he became a sensational, champion, and he got all the admiration. But at the end of the day, you know what happened? He got knocked out when he moved back down. To be fair, he moved back down, had the fight with Antonio Tarver. It was a really tough fight. Some people thought he lost. And people were like, hey, man, just retire now. And he was like, no, I'm not going to retire. I'm going to prove that to the people that thought, I lost that fight. I'm going to prove to them. And then he rematched Antonio Tarver and got knocked out cold. And instead of retiring after that, he was like, he made a comeback fight. And then immediately his next fight over after that, he got knocked out cold by Glenn Johnson, a fighter who was never at the status of a Roy Jones. And I'm afraid that happens to Canelo. That moving up in weight and then moving back down, your body is not meant to do that. Your body's supposed to maintain and gradually go up in weight as you get older. And that's exactly how Canelo's been doing it. I think he pro debuted when he was 14 at 140 and gradually moved up. And now he's at 168. And I think that's pretty much the weight division he should stay at. Now, can he move up to 175 and get one of those big guys? Yeah, but I don't think he should campaign at 175. And yeah, that's just the way I see it. Facts. I was waiting for you to say that they lose their legs when they come back down in weight. Yes, you're right. You're right. You're right. Which fight is more anticipated, Lopez fight or Crawford fight? Come on, man. Teofimo about to probably get a first round knockout on this guy then, but that's no competition for Teofimo. And I'm not just trying to shit on Kambosos, but Kambosos not at the level of the Teofimo Lopez, and that's just being real. Now, Porter versus Crawford. Let me make this. I'm gonna make a video probably within this week because obviously it has to be before the fight. If you don't buy this fight this Saturday, Porter versus Crawford, if you don't seek out to watch this fight at your boy's house, if you don't watch this fight, you're not a real boxing fan. If you have to pay for this fight and to watch it and you refuse to because you're being cheap, you're not a real boxing fan. This fight is going to be a war. This is an evenly matched fight between two prime welterweights in their prime. Like it's a fight you cannot miss, and you cannot, as a boxing fan, in good faith say, oh, I'm a boxing fan, and you didn't buy this fight, or you didn't see this fight this Saturday. Porter versus Crawford is a legitimate fight. A fight that should do a lot of pay-per-views. This fight, honestly, I feel like is going to show where the status of boxing is. It's going to show. If boxing is dead, this fight is going to bomb. And if boxing is alive, it'll at least do 300,000 if boxing is alive. Now, anything under 300,000 to me, it's a bad sign for boxing, and it shows that it's on a downward trajectory. Bob Arum said that he anticipates this fight selling 500,000 to 1.5 million pay-per-views. Now, listen, I think the fight's going to do good, but I don't think it's going to get anywhere near 1.5, considering Canelo's fight did 800,000. Canelo, in an undisputed fight, did 800,000 buys. And Top Rank and Bob Arum's predicting 1.5 million? Nah, that's not happening. That is not happening at all. So yeah, I made a video predicting this does around 400 and 450 pay-per-views, and we'll see about that. But yeah, no way. The Teofimo fight he's gonna get knock this dude the fuck out of here, man. Let me see. You're right. Canelo should make this big of a jump at the end of his career. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. That's exactly what I said. He should make this jump at the end of his career, because at the end of the career, you don't have to move back down. At the end of your career, you just move up, get the win, maybe outbox him, do whatever you got to do, and then ride into the sunset right after that. But I don't think it's a wise idea to move up and then move back down. By the way, guys, for the guys just joining in on this, I pinned a link in the comment section. Click that link if you want to call in. You can either do the video calls or you can just do the voice call. Whichever one you prefer, it lays it out for you. I would love for you guys to join me and talk to me and call in. Definitely pull up, man. Don't be shy, man. Don't be shy. If you don't want to show your face, just ask your question. Don't worry. And for my casual boxing fans, ain't no question stupid. Just announce you a casual, and I won't jump on you. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you talk about you a hardcore and you come with some stupid shit, I'm going to have to call you out. Just keeping it real. Yo, but in the comment section, let me know what you guys think of Porter Crawford. I picked Crawford 11th round knockout. The reason why is I just think, one, Crawford hits fucking hard as shit. Crawford hits hard. And then Porter tends to run in and, and move and make it dirty and this and that. But since Crawford knows how to switch lefty and righty and spin out and do all this, he knows how to box. I think all that's going to work into the favor of Terrence Crawford. And he's going to eventually land an uppercut, which is what I'm predicting, because sometimes Porter comes all aggressive like her, you come in all that aggressive looking down, somebody may bring your ass up. And I think eventually Crawford is going to land enough body shots, enough power punches, enough of that quick right hook, like how he caught Kell Brook, where he's going to wear him down throughout the fight. And we all know Sean Porter is a very durable fighter, but eventually that wears on you. You getting beaten down. Also, you got to remember, Terrence Crawford's boxing IQ is like probably second to only Canelo. He knows how to figure out, even if he has trouble in the beginning of the fights. And then once he starts figuring out and he's pounding on you with these power shots, by the 11th round, you're going to be nice and weak. And look what happened to Caleb. That was exactly what happened. It was in the 11th round he got stopped. And so I think that's where that fight goes. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think where that is going. What I like about your channel is actual boxing background. Not sure what you mean by that. I don't know if you mean this or the fact that I have some boxing experience being in the gyms and all that. I don't know if that's what you meant. But thank you anyways, man. Oh, wait. Hold on. There's nothing worse than a boxing commentator that has no background in boxing. All right, so you do mean, yeah, because you know I have some experience in the boxing ring and stuff like that. No, I agree, because sometimes I felt this about Larry Merchant. Sometimes it would be very unfair to the fighters, and I'm like, bro, like, come on, you can't be that unfair. Look, give the guy credit. Like, he wouldn't let somebody, like, if somebody would get beaten down for 10 rounds and the guy quits on the stool. If you gave me 10 rounds of you trying your best and it's pretty obvious you're not going to win and you quit and you steal, I'm not going to call you a quitter. It's easy for me to say that from my couch when I'm not the one getting my head punched in. But Larry Merchant, oh, he's a quitter. He's not a real fighter. He's not a champion. He's not this. He's not that. It's like, come on, bro. You never been in a ring. That's why you could say that. I got Crawford by TKO in the 10th or 9th, but I'm mostly expecting decision. All right, that's fair. I feel like it's gonna go the distance. I mean, listen, Porter is a tough customer. So if it goes the distance, I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I don't. Hey, that's a possibility. But I just got Crawford. I believe in that Crawford power. I hope Crawford can get. I hope Crawford get the knockout. I put some coin on it. All right. Hopefully, good luck to you, because that's what I predicted. Hopefully, it comes out in the 11th round too. That way we both right. You get your money and I get my prediction correct. Frank, Porter by KO. I don't know about that. Porter has no punching power. Didn't knock out Formella. Didn't knock out Danny Garcia. I don't even think he dropped Danny Garcia or Keith Thurman or Sean or Errol Spence. He didn't knock out Ugas. Like, I don't see Porter winning Porter by knockout is the one decision, I guess, outcome that I would be completely shocked. I wouldn't be completely shocked if Porter overwhelms Crawford and wins by decision, and I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford wins by decision or wins by knockout. Porter by knockout is one that I will be absolutely floored that happens. And if you really feel that way, go to your nearest bookie. Go to the if you're in a state that you can bet and you really think Porter's gonna knock him out, put $100 on that, because the odds are you probably win $700-800 on that, if not more. So for sure, I don't know where you got in Porter by knockout. That ain't happening at all. I'll put whatever you want on that. See, I really mess with your channel, bro. I just found out about you from Box Talk when you was roasting Rolly from the press conference last month. Shout out to Carlos Montes, man. Yeah, man, I keep it real. That's one thing about me. I keep it real. And Box Talk 101, that's my guy, man. My man Freddie. He has a relationship with Rolly. And he was like, no, man, this. Now I'm like, yo, my man. He came out looking stupid. His trash talk was bad. He came with a fur coat in LA when it's 90 degrees probably out there. Everybody's sweating. He looked ridiculous out there. And but yeah, no, I appreciate that, Carlos, for pulling up. And I'm gaining you as a subscriber from being over there. Yeah, man, I keep it real. Even if my favorite fighter right now is Teofimo Lopez and Canelo Alvarez. If they start doing something where I don't like it, I'm gonna call them out. But right now they haven't done nothing. They're both undisputed. You can argue about the Teofimo thing, but I think he's undisputed, and I think he's willing to fight Devin Haney. And if you don't believe me, ask your boy Eddie Hearn. In an interview, he said, no, these guys are willing to fight. I think he said that he spoke to Devin Haney. He was like, I think they think they can beat you. They're willing to fight. Let's stop chasing Tank Davis. Let's stop chasing Ryan Garcia. This guy, Teofimo's willing to fight you. And I think he is. I just think it's a promotional issue. And I think Teofimo Lopez wins that fight, by the way. Break time's over. I enjoyed your show. Have a good one. Yo, David, have a good day at work. I appreciate you pulling up, my brother. Guys, if you guys want to join the conversation, call in, whether it be through video or just your voice. The link in the chat description is right there. Just click that link and you guys can talk to me and you can ask me questions and we could go back and forth. I like Rolly, and yeah, I think he may have been a little nervous, which is understandable when you're on the big stage for the first time. But yeah, if you know you're nervous, then don't come with that type of energy, man. Corny ass trash talk. You should have just went up there and just, you know, been a little bit more planned with his words. Joel, I will be there. Sanchez, what's up, my brother? That's my guy, Sanchez. Where you gonna be? Let me know where you're gonna be. But yeah, what do you got? Oh man. Oh, what about that Gabe Rosado Jaime Munguia fight, man? That was a good fight. And I didn't make a prediction video, unfortunately, only because I thought that I was like, there's not gonna get any viewers. And I shouldn't think like that. I really shouldn't. I should just do the videos that I want to do. But either way, by the time I thought about making a video, it was the day before. It was going to be a whole mess. I should have done it like a week or two before. But man, Jaime Munguia, how do you guys think he plays out in the middleweight division? Jaime Munguia is a nice middleweight right now. Like the middleweight division has a lot of fighters that are not fighting each other. But adding Jaime Munguia to the mix, I like it. He is one of the most entertaining fighters in all of boxing. By far, like him, Tank, and Terrence Crawford are the most fun fighters to watch. If you just talk about strictly quality of fights they put in, the savagery, Jaime Munguia is in that mix. The only thing is, Jaime Munguia reminds me a little bit of Leo Santa Cruz in the sense that offensive fighters willing to trade, but don't have power. You know, Jaime Munguia went to distance with a few guys where I'm like, really? Why he went the distance there? And I do think he gets hit flush a lot more than I like for him to do. But he's now working with Eric Morales, so hopefully he works on his defense a little bit more. Although us fans are going to get the benefit of, oh my God, this guy's going brawling and doing this and doing that. It's not good for the long term of his career, as well as it's not, sometimes when he gets to a certain level, it's not going to go good for him. You know, that's not going to work against, you know, when you're fighting somebody like a Charlo or Triple G. Like one of these dudes lands a hard, clean shot on you, like the way Gabe Rosado was doing, they might be night-night. You know what I'm saying? All right. I actually like Rolly. I don't think he was nervous. I just think he's corny like that. Well, I spoke to a close friend of his, and he said that he was nervous about it. So I actually know through a specific source that he came up there nervous, and it was his first press conference, and the press conference was supposed to be inside, but then they moved it to outside, and that threw him off, and that's why he had a fur coat and all this stuff. But I just didn't like, he's corny, and I just felt like if you not a good trash talker, you should know that. You should be self-aware. And since he's not self-aware that, he came across looking like a chump, man. He looked ridiculous up there. I'm also a big Teofimo fan. I hope he makes a statement next Saturday. I'm hoping for a brutal knockout. He is going to get a brutal knockout. I mean, yo, don't be surprised he knocks him out in the first round. I'm being honest. Yo, Teofimo is explosive. Teofimo has experience. Teofimo has confidence. He's a power puncher. Kambosos is a good fighter, but he's a top 10, ranked top 10, but he's not messing with Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez right now, I feel like at 140 and under, I don't feel nobody beats Teofimo. Maybe Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor has a legit chance of beating Teofimo. I think if you put a lie detector test on me, I would pick Teofimo to beat him, but I don't. Yeah, I think it's a 50-50 fight, that fight. But I think he beats Tank. I think he beats Haney. I think he beats Ryan. He already beat Lomachenko. And yeah, that's how I feel about it. These Canelo ducking narratives are already beginning by these YouTube channels. I don't know who's he ducking. Like, this is ridiculous. And I know you're not saying I'm ducking. I know what you mean, that other channels. It's ridiculous. How is Canelo Alvarez, when undisputed in 11 months, and he's ducking? Who's he ducking? Okay, so if he's ducking, then is Charlo ducking? Because if Canelo's ducking, you look at Canelo's last 4 or 5 fights, then look at Charlo's last 4 or 5 fights. You tell me who you think is ducking. Canelo was fighting at 160, move up to 175, and knocked out Kovalev. Who's he ducking? He fought Lara when nobody was trying to fight Lara. He fought Trout when nobody. Right after he beat Cotto, he fought who else? He fought Mayweather, Cotto. He fought a lot of good fighters. Triple G twice. Canelo is not a ducker, man. Stop that. Stop. That shit is ridiculous when y'all be saying that, man. Kenny Porter just called him a duck. Yo, Kenny Porter needs to focus on Crawford. You know what Kenny Porter needs to do? He needs to wet the towel that he's gonna have in the corner. So when he throws the towel, it lands faster. That's what he needs to do. He needs to focus on his fighter not getting his head knocked off by Crawford. Come on, man. Canelo's not a duck, man. And even if you want to say he's ducking Benavidez or Charlo to move up to cruiserweight, so what? He's earned it. 11 months undisputed? And 11 months. And you're not going to, you telling me he can't go move up to cruiserweight to try to get a legacy fight? Because if he does that, he's ducking? That makes no sense. Kenny Porter is bugging. What is he talking about? And I respect Kenny Porter. I'm surprised he came at like that. He would say something like that. That's ridiculous. Canelo, my favorite fighter, but I don't like the idea he's moving to cruiserweight. I hope he doesn't stay and moves back down and fights David. Yeah, Carlos, I'm not sure if you was on here, but I actually made a video about this. So if you are interested, after this live, hop on. Is the last video I made. Just go click that. I talk about that. So yeah, for sure. I already addressed it here on the live though. Kenny Porter needs to worry about helping Sean Porter off the mat when Crawford stops him. Yeah, exactly. I'm not even gonna say anything more. Exactly. Eddie said they'd fight Benavidez when he becomes mandatory when they announce the fight versus Makubu. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why that. I understand where Eddie's saying. I understand. He's saying, let this guy get his legacy fight and then he'll move back down and take care of business. But that fight is always going to be there, man. You got a great relationship with the WBC, man. Fight Benavidez next. That would be nice. And then you could, since you have a relationship with the WBC, you could be like, oh, can you just make this a mandatory? That way I'm taking care of my mandatory. But really, it's a fight I was going to take anyways. So that way you're not bogged down by mandatories. You have to go franchise. You have to do all this. You have to vacate because they're trying to give you a bullshit mandatory. Why not do that? Why not do that? I don't like that. I don't like the idea of him not fighting. Like moving up in weight. I don't like that idea. No. See. So he's asking me your thoughts on Canelo, which I've been talking. I wasn't even planning on this being a Canelo live, but it seems like that's where the conversation's going. And the floor ass move he just pulled. Come on, man. Come on. I mean, listen to what's his name? Black Chibi. I already spoke on this on the live. If you want to see my opinion on this, go check out the last video I just made after the live, and it pretty much covers it. It covers it full. But I don't like, to answer your question, I don't like him trying to move up. And the reason why I don't like him trying to move up is because the move back down is going to affect his body. And the example to that I have to say is Roy Jones. That happened to Roy Jones. right. Let's talk boxing, my boy. Yeah, man. Yo, if you want to talk boxing, either write in the comment section or in the chat. I pinned a link. Just click on it. You can either have your face where we can talk face to face, or you can just have your voice, whatever you prefer. Just let me know, man. I'm looking forward to this. Is my first time. I've only had one person call in, and so far it's a good. I had a good experience. So if you guys want to call in, you guys are more than welcome to. More than welcome to. Yeah, man. I really appreciate you guys showing up. But what other topics we can talk about, man? Let's talk about Devin Haney, Jojo Diaz. What y'all think of that fight? I think a lot of people sleeping on Jojo Diaz. Jojo Diaz is a good fighter, man. Jojo Diaz is a southpaw. He goes to the body real well. That's one of the things I really like. Former Olympian. He fought Tevin Farmer, fought Gary Russell Jr., fought Fortuna. So he's fought experienced guys, guys that have been world champion, guys who have a lot of experience. He's won some of the fights I mentioned, lost some of the fights I mentioned. But point is, he's been in the ring and has been in the trenches. He's been in the Olympics. He knows what it is to be a quality fighter and be looked at as a quality fighter. Devin Haney, we've never seen him in a real tough fight. Like that fight against Linares, I'll be honest with you, that fight didn't do much for me. You know what I'm saying? Like Linares was 35 at the time, coming off a 1-year layoff. And on top of that, you get hurt and don't get knocked out. Come on. Don't knock him out. Linares been knocked out 5 times before that. I believe his record was like 45 wins, 5 losses. And all 5 losses were by knockout. But yet, Devin Haney couldn't knock him out? What do you think Teofimo Lopez would have done to Linares? Because Linares lost to Lomachenko and Teofimo beat Lomachenko. I know the triangle theory doesn't always work, but with a puncher like Teofimo and a guy with a weak chin like Linares, Teofimo would have knocked him the fuck out. So this is the first fight where I'm like, okay, Devin Haney's in a real fight. He will prove something to me if he knocks out Jojo Diaz or if he wins all 12 rounds, as long as it's not boring. He will prove something to me. So we'll see. We'll see. I like this fight, though. This is a real good fight. I like it. Says busy right now, man. Will only be available to type, but you doing this call in every day. So it's a good thing you just mentioned that. I'm actually going to be doing this every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. So every Wednesday, you guys are more than welcome to come and call in, or again, video in, whatever you prefer. That's cool with me. So every Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. I'm going to be doing this and the reason it's Wednesday is 1, Wednesdays I'm off, and 2, Wednesdays is right in the middle. So we could talk about the fights that happened last week and the fights that's coming up this Saturday. So that's why I picked Wednesday. All right. I think Haney wins a decision, but Jojo going to make it uncomfortable for him as well. I hope Jojo wins, though. I mean, I don't hope Jojo wins, to be honest. I hope Devin Haney wins because Devin Haney has a rematch clause. So if Jojo beats him, he's going to have to rematch him. And I think the bigger fight right now, the fight that the fans want, the real boxing fans, is Devin Haney versus Teofimo Lopez for the undisputed title. Because some people saying that he's not, Teofimo's not undisputed, that Devin Haney is the WBC champion. And instead of going back and forth and you making your argument, me making my argument, just get these guys in the ring. So I hope Devin Haney wins. And I hope that the boxing gods among us make the fight between Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney for the undisputed lightweight championship. That's what I want to happen. All right. Let's see. Was at the Munguia fight, man, energy was electric and he looked real good. Yeah, man. Like the energy came off my TV when I was watching it. And what surprised me is Rosado had fans. At one point, they would chant the Rosado, Rosado. He eventually got booed out by the Mexican fans that were there for Munguia. So, but I can tell the energy was lit. And Munguia seems to be like a Mexican favorite. Like, how do I say? He may not be the best Mexican fighter right now, obviously. And I'm excluding Canelo because Canelo's the best fighter, period. Forget Mexican. So I'm excluding Canelo. Munguia is not the best Mexican fighter. It's Oscar Valdez or Navarrete. There's a bunch of Mexican fighters who are above him, but I think he may just be everyone's favorite Mexican to watch. He's very, very entertaining. Somebody who's gonna give it all, and he's being promoted by Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy. And I feel like they're doing a real good job. His name is out there. They're not matching him too tough, but not matching him too easy too. He fought Turiano Johnson, who's a tough fighter. He fought Gabe Rosado, who's a tough fighter. And now he's in a mandatory position for both Demetrius Andrade and Jamal Charlo. So he's in a position to choose whichever fight he prefers, whichever one he thinks is easier, or whichever one he thinks he's going to make more money in. And again, he's calling out Triple G. Triple G fights on DAZN, so there's a possibility where it's an easy transaction where he can fight Triple G on DAZN. I like Jaime Munguia. He's a really, really fun Mexican fighter to watch. So I believe that crowd that you said that the energy was lit, I believe that's going to be consistent throughout his career. All right, let's see. All right. Damn, I forgot. You're right. Only want Haney to win now, so Tio smokes his ass. Yeah, me too. That's exactly what I want. I feel the same exact way. Victor Roman, what up, brother? Haven't seen you in a minute. What up, my G? Any chances of the promoters getting their shit together and getting Crawford versus Spence on the books? Oof. I'll be honest. I don't think so. I'll be honest. I don't think so for each of their next fight. And this is with the idea that Crawford beats Porter. I don't think it's their next fight because Errol Spence just had eye surgery. So I think he may want to fight a Ugas or may want to fight I'm trying to think who else. Somebody else, maybe a tune-up fight, but I don't think it would be wise for him to come from eye surgery to go into a Terrence Crawford fight. So do I think it's a possibility? It's definitely a lot more possible now that that Terrence Crawford is a free agent now. After this fight, he's a promotional free agent, and he's going to go by fight to certain promoters. So that makes it more realistic. There isn't that hurdle of, I don't work with Top Rank. I don't work with Bob Arum. I don't work with ESPN. There's none of that. There won't be that hurdle if after this fight. So it's a lot more likely now than it was before. I'll put it like that. Definitely in about a year and a half, Munguia will be the most favorited Mexican fighter, similar to Canelo. He has a big fan base that supports him. I agree. But Jaime Munguia needs to keep winning. He needs to keep winning if he wants that. It was a very entertaining fight, but he did get hit a lot against Rosado. And again, you could get away with that with Rosado and Turiano Johnson. You cannot get away with that with Charlo and Andrade and Triple G and these other big punchers Andre's not a big puncher, but other punchers in the division. You can't do that. So he needs to clean up his defense a little bit. Became a big fan of Jaime after this fight. I mean, I've always been a big fan. If you see the fight, listen, this fight was like a low-key classic. Jaime Munguia versus Turiano Johnson. That was very entertaining. What made it even more entertaining was that it was in the bubble, so it was no fans. So you're hearing these shots go blah, blah, blah. It was a war. And Turiano Johnson was coming on strong. And Jaime Munguia broke his lip, literally split his lip from here down. Like his lip was separated. And the fight had to be stopped, obviously. He was bleeding all over the place. So I'm a fan of Munguia too, man. Munguia is a tough dude. Benavidez versus Charlo, who you got? Come on, man. I got Benavidez. Benavidez is bigger. Also, Benavidez has shown me more in the sense that he's more willing to fight everybody. He's not scared. And, if you ducking people, it's for a reason. If Charlo's a duck, man. So since he's ducking people, it's, hey, man, why are you ducking people? You're not that confident in your skills? What's up with you? Meanwhile, Benavidez was calling out Plant, calling out Canelo, trying to make fights. Although, he got to get his act together with the weight. Not making a weight, or he got caught one time for sniffing coke. So he does have discipline issues, but let's get that together before you get in the ring with Canelo. Because Canelo, if you're not disciplined, you're not 100% of the way, he'll knock your ass out. Yeah, man. Hold on one sec. Who you think Ryan fighting once he returns? I remember a while ago I thought he was gonna fight Rolly. Oh, man, I like Ryan Garcia, but I feel like he just needs to get his mind right before I see him in a fight. As far as who he comes back to fight, I would assume he fights like a tune-up. I wouldn't assume he jumps into a Jojo Diaz or Javier Fortuna. You know, these are, I still think is a little tough for him, those fights. Coming off a layoff, I'm saying. Like, if he wasn't coming off a layoff, I would love to see those fights. I'm trying to think who could he fight at the lightweight division. Nakatani, Comey. Who else? I don't know. Yeah, Nakatani or Comey. Some guys like that. Some guys like that. That's who I would like to see Ryan Garcia come back with. Guys, if you guys want to call in, just hit the link in the top of the chat. You know, and if you just want to use your voice, that's cool. If you want to, go on video, that's also cool. Don't hesitate to call in. Ask me any questions you want. Did you see the Williams Zepeda on Munguia Rosado undercard? I did. But to be honest, I'll be fair. So not to get a little personal, but November 13th, that's the day my sister-in-law passed away. So we were together in family. And so I was watching it, but I wasn't watching it all the way. I was with my family. My sister-in-law passed away on that day 2 years ago. But by the time the main event started, everybody left. So I got to see the main event, clear, just watching it and stuff like that. No interruptions. So I again, to answer your question, yes, I did see it, but I wasn't fully paying attention to it. How about Charlo Plant? Ooh, that's a good fight. I've never even thought of that fight. Like Michael Blunt, shout out to you. Yeah, that's a good fight. I would like to see it. You know what fight I would like to see? I would like to see Caleb Plant versus Daniel Jacobs. Daniel Jacobs' buzz is as down as much as possible. He got that Canelo paycheck and just said, fuck it. Forgot boxing, left his trainer, started dating, actresses and all this. He got a little Hollywood for me, and I want to see him fight Plant. That's the fight I would like to see. But as far as to answer your question, I think I would pick Plant. He's bigger, and I've learned in life, for the most part, when in doubt, pick the boxer. Don't pick the puncher. Comey not a tune-up, bro. You seen that fight with Martinez? You mean Marinez? No, I agree. You know what? That's a good point. You're right. Comey is a tough fighter. You're right. He was a former world champion. I'm just anticipating Vasil Lomachenko destroying this dude and that lowering his status and his confidence. So that's the reason I'm just adding that to the thing. I think Plant outboxes Jacobs. I agree. Thank you so much, Jaime Garcia. Yeah, thank you. That's pretty much all I can say. But yeah. That's Kofi's not a tune-up. You're right. My bad. I'm just thinking. You know what it is? I'm real high on Ryan Garcia. You're right. I'm real high on Ryan Garcia, but he needs to come in with a nice tune-up fight that's not too easy. Like, I don't want to see him in against, like, Santiago, the guy, what's his name? Devin Haney or Urokis Gamboa. I don't want to see that. Now that I don't want to see, but I do want to see him in with a nice level journeyman, but a guy who's going to push him for his comeback fight. And then after that, he could fight a Jojo Diaz. He could fight a Tank. He could fight a Devin Haney, although maybe not Tank. He could fight a Devin Haney. He could fight a Jojo Diaz, a Javier Fortuna, those kind of guys. Yeah, what do you guys think of Ryan Garcia? Am I the only one that likes his fighting style? I'm talking about his fighting style, not his mentality. Am I the only one because I was really, really high on him. I was like, bro, this kid is going to be a superstar. He's going to, and there were rumors that he was going to fight Haney. I was going to pick Ryan Garcia, to be honest. He was training with Canelo. Vicious power puncher. So I was like, whoa, this kid is going to be special. And then pulled out because of mental health issues. Then he broke his hand. He's lost a lot of momentum. And although he's still young, that's the reason why I still haven't given up on him. He's still young and he still hasn't taken a loss. He's having problems outside the ring, but So far inside the ring, he hasn't had any problems. It's not like he got knocked out, you know. He got dropped by Luke Campbell, and we all saw how that fight ended. So Ryan Garcia is a talented fighter, and I love to see his progression. I'm really excited. I'm high on Ryan Garcia. I like him as a fighter. I just think he needs to listen to Canelo. That's why one of the things, when Canelo brought up Teofimo Lopez to show all their belts, to show they're both undisputed, right after he criticized Ryan Garcia, I thought that was a big moment. I thought that was a big moment for Ryan Garcia, for him to say, damn, this guy's in my division, and you over here showing this guy love, bringing him up on stage to show his belts, show his accomplishment, and you criticizing me in the public. This is where we're going to see if Ryan Garcia took that criticism and ran with it. You know what? You gave me that criticism. I'm going to show you how great I am. I'm going to show you how dedicated I am. The same way you had Teofimo up there with all his belts. Watch this, what I'm about to do. I want to see that. I want to see what Ryan Garcia does, how he reacts to that, to Canelo and somebody in his weight division, giving him glory and bigging him up. Yeah, man. I think Ryan is good, but I think he should block out social media. I mean, the thing is with social media is that's how he gets his name. That's how he gets his money. Like, I can't even blame him for being on social media. What I do blame him is when he said, oh man, the belts don't matter. I'm just wearing this. He had a WBC interim belt. He goes, I just got this belt on me just because it looked good. Nah, my man. You putting all that work in the gym for what? I think that's why he had mental problems. His mentality is, I'm in the gym, I'm working out, I'm doing this, I'm doing all these punches and all these celebrity punch offs and working out and doing all this. But why am I doing this? What for money? That's it? Money's not fulfilling. But then you said that the belts don't matter to you, so it can't be that. I think if Ryan Garcia was to hit that light switch in his head and go, wait a minute, I want to be a champion. That's what I want. I want to be a champion, and that's why I'm putting in the work. He wouldn't have all these depression issues. He has a focusing problem. He needs to focus on why is he boxing? Why is he training so hard? And if the why is because he wants to become a champion, he can overcome this. He can overcome these mental hurdles that he has. Let's see. Michelle Rivera versus Ryan Garcia. Man, don't get my Dominican hurt, man. You trying to get my Dominican brother knocked out? Of course, I got Ryan Garcia for that one. I think Michelle Rivera needs to develop a little bit more before he's in these kind of fights. And he's a prospect on his own right. And plus, PBC wouldn't put him in just yet because they're promoting him with the Muhammad Ali. They call him Ali and stuff like that. They're giving him haircuts similar to Ali. He resembles him a little bit. So I think they have big plans for him. So they don't want to, they're not going to do that fight. So I wouldn't anticipate it. I think Ryan is good. Oh, no, my bad. I read that already. Ooh, shit, man. Linares versus Ryan, I think would make sense. I like that fight for a comeback fight. Because again, I wasn't high on Devin Haney fighting him for a title defense because I didn't think Devin Haney was, Linares was worthy of a title defense. But for a comeback fight, I like it. Especially if you knock up, and I know he knocks the shit out of Linares. You knock this guy out. You tell me if he doesn't have leverage in negotiations against Devin Haney. Be like, listen, I got more followers than you. You told Teofimo you got more followers than him, but I got more followers than both of y'all combined. So watch your tone. I knocked out the guy you couldn't knock out. Come on, man. I need 60-40 or I need this amount to fight you. Make the offer. So I like that fight. Damn, Carlos. Yo, I'm fucking with Carlos, man. First time I believe you're on the live with me. I like that. I like that idea. Put them in order. Ryan, Haney, Tio, Tank, Shakur. Ooh. Tio number one. Number one. I don't got it. Number one. Number two, I'm going to go Shakur. I think Shakur. Number three, Tank. Number four, Ryan. Number five, Haney. I like Ryan Garcia. Yeah, I like him too. Oh, you're right, Frank. Thank you. Rivera is fighting Linares in an eliminator. Yes, Michelle Rivera has been ordered by the WBA in an eliminator against Jorge Linares. I think Michelle Rivera beats him. But if I'm Ryan Garcia, I'm stealing that fight from Michelle Rivera. That's what I'm doing because I command more money than a Michelle Rivera fight. You steal that fight and you put it on the zone. Linares has a great his last fight with Devin Haney was his last fight with Golden Boy, but I don't see why he would like they left on good terms. It's not like it was an amicable split. It was just a contract right now. Why not just fight a one fight contract and fight Ryan Garcia, which is a bigger fight, bigger money fight. At this point of Jorge Linares' career, he needs to focus on money, not anything else. You're not going to become a champion. You're not being Teofimo, and you already lost to Devin Haney. So just go get that money. Don't go into a fight eliminator. But yeah, if that fight does happen, Michelle Rivera versus Jorge Linares, that's a great developmental fight for Michelle Rivera. And he's going to be put in position to fight for that WBA. We all know PBC owns the WBA basically. So, and Michelle Rivera is with the PBC. So once Teofimo moves up, that title becomes vacant, and you could get a fight against somebody and become WBA champion. So I like that. I like that by that move by the WBA. But again, if I'm Ryan Garcia, I'm stealing that fight. I'm taking Linares. That's a great comeback fight. I appreciate it, man. I tried to keep up my best. I'm mostly an MMA fan, but also really mess with boxing, especially lately with some of these good ass fights. Yo, bro. Not for nothing, these last 2-3 months of the year, we're getting great fights. We got Tyson Fury versus Wilder. We saw Boots Ennis. We're gonna see Teofimo, Haney, and Tank in separate fights. We just saw what's his name? Canelo versus Plant, Benavidez, Munguia, not that in separate fights. Porter Crawford. These last 2 months. At 2-3 months of the year, I don't remember ever having a boxing year like that. So we should be very appreciative of what these promoters have been giving us. Nah, I don't think he can fight Rolly because Rolly's with PBC, Ryan's with Golden Boy, and if they're gonna feed Rolly to somebody, they're gonna feed him to Tank, not to Ryan. Laugh my ass off. Facts. PBC is the WBA and Top Rank is the WBO. Exactly. That's facts. That's crazy. Yeah. All their fighters have those belts. It's true, man. Bud and Porter this Saturday. Next Saturday, Figueroa Fulton. Oh, I haven't even talked about Figueroa Fulton. And you know why? This is why I show my bias. When you bias and honest, that's okay. I'm from Brooklyn. Teofimo Lopez is from Brooklyn. So I just been thinking about that fight. Teofimo Lopez. That's the fight I've been thinking about. But yes, Figueroa. I'm going to put that back up. Brandon Figueroa versus Stefan Fulton. That's a great fight at 122. Unification. What do you guys think in the comment section? Let me know. Let me know what you guys think, because that's a good fight. I favor Fulton. He has great boxing ability. He's from Philadelphia, so you know he's tough. And I just think he has a little bit more skill set. But I give Brandon Figueroa I give him definitely a chance in that fight. This is a 50-50 fight. I just favor Fulton. I like what Fulton does more. Also, he's going to be unified champion. And let's say he becomes, he wins that fight. 118 is only one weight class below. If Naoya Inoue has trouble making that weight for whatever reason, right now he hasn't said anything that he can't make a weight. But you imagine Naoya Inoue moves up to 122 and fights Stefan Fulton for a unified belt. Woo-wee! That would be absolutely amazing. That would be great for the sport and great for Inoue. Inouye's had a problem resonating with the American public, not the hardcores, because I know most of you guys watching are hardcore boxing fans. So you guys know who Inoue is. Bad Japanese bantamweight, 118 pounds. But again, he's not fighting the names we are too familiar with. If he was to fight Stefan Fulton for all his belts, that could be a big money fight for the small, taking into consideration that for that weight division. That could be a big money fight. He brings in money from Japan. Stephen Fulton brings in money. Stephen or Brandon Gonzalez, Brandon Figueroa, excuse me, bring in the American fans. If Figueroa wins, he brings in the Mexican fans. That's a great fight. That would be a great fight, and I would hope. I'm hoping Inoue has trouble making a weight. He moves up to 122 because that'll be a great, fun fight to watch. By the way, this call-in thing, I'm thinking I'm gonna have a lot of callers. I only have one. I'm like, it's all good though. You guys are asking your questions through the chat, so yeah, this works as well. How you think Tank versus Cruz goes? Both fighters come forward and let it all out. That fight, I find it interesting because Cruz is a dirty fighter. He's a dirty fighter. That's he uses his head, uses his elbow. If you in there and in the inside, he'll hold and throw you on the ground. He's a very dirty fighter. I'll be interested how Tank deals with that. Does Tank just, outbox him? Does he want to brawl and bang with him? Also, Gervonta Tank Davis is a southpaw. Cruz is a orthodox. That already is a recipe for clashes of heads. And I'm telling you, Cruz is a dirty fighter. So you got a dirty fighter with a lefty and a righty. I wouldn't be surprised if this fight ends on a technical decision because somebody clash heads or even by disqualification. But to answer your question, like barring that happens, which is a strong possibility, I got Gervonta Tank Davis winning by knockout, particularly the uppercut, because similar into the Porter Crawford fight, Cruz tends to come in with his head down, and he's shorter. He's a shorter fighter than Tank Davis, which is strange, considering Tank Davis is only 5'5.5". This guy, I believe, is 5'3", so he's fighting a really tiny fighter. And that uppercut is there to be had because how he comes in. So I got Tank by knockout. I'm not sure what round I got. Probably 10th, 9th, around there, somewhere around there. But I wouldn't discount him getting headbutt and losing by technical decision. Winning by technical decision, or Cruz getting disqualified. That guy's a dirty fighter. All right. Brandon said he wants to fight Inoue. Stefan Fulton mentioned him too. Inoue will be at 122 soon. Don't worry, bro. Michael Blunt, please. I love that you're throwing that energy in the air. The only thing that worries me, though, is that Inoue's with Top Rank. And Top Rank don't do business with PBC. At least they try not to. So hopefully that fight gets made. I would love to see that fight with either fighter. Because I know Inoue has skills. Inoue has power. Inoue has heart. Inoue fought with a broken orbital bone against Nonito Donaire, and ended up like dropping him later in the fight while he has a broken orbital bone. Inoue is one of my favorite fighters right now, for real. He's like probably my third favorite fighter. Number 1, Teofimo's my favorite. Number 2, Canelo's my second favorite. Number 3 is Inoue's my third. Like he's a fantastic fighter. All right. On my way home, I'm driving. Be on in a few. All right. I'll wait for your call, man. I'll wait for your call, Sanchez. This is my guy. He's one of my loyal listeners, always pulling up, commenting, supporting, hitting the like button. Matter of fact, hit the like button, everybody. I got 8 people watching right now. Hit that like button, man. Make this. I better have at least 8 likes on my stream right now. But yeah, man. What else you guys want to talk about, man? Let me know. I'm with y'all. Y'all want to talk boxing history? I know boxing history too, man. I know from Henry Armstrong to Sugar Ray Robinson and whatever. If y'all want to get deep like that, we can get deep like that. Let me see what's popping on boxing scene. Let's see if there's any breaking news while I've been online. Let's see if anything happens. Nothing. Oh, so Keyshawn Davis and Richard Torres 2 silver medalists from this past Olympic games signed with Top Rank. That's interesting. That's interesting. I think Richard Torres that made the right move because he's a heavyweight, and right now Fury looks like he's going to be in the heavyweight picture for a while. So if Richard Torres moves up eventually, he can maybe get a Tyson Fury fight. And Keyshawn Davis, I find interesting because most black fighters tend that Top Rank has a history of, how do I say it, reputation for not being able to promote black fighters correctly. Like that's why Floyd Mayweather left him. That's why people say that Terrence Crawford is not a pay-per-view star because he doesn't know how to promote black fighters. So Keyshawn Davis, who's fought on DAZN before, and and PBC usually has most of the black fighters. I'm surprised he went the Top Rank route, but hey, maybe they made him an offer he couldn't refuse. Oh my God. So Luis Ortiz, here it is. Luis Ortiz is going to fight Charles Martin on a pay-per-view. Charles Martin, the guy who went to the UK and got knocked out cold, not knocked out cold, but just got blitzed by Anthony Joshua, a guy who's never been a world beater. Yeah, he's a former world champion, but yeah, hang on to that hat. But yeah, that fight, I'm not buying it. I can tell you that much. I'll figure out a way to watch it, but I ain't buying it. I never heard of him till now. Damn, I didn't know he was dirty. I like that. Oh, dirty like that. My bad. Way you explained it, surprised he has yet to be DQ'd. Yeah, he's gonna get DQ'd probably in this fight. He's a dirty fighter, man. What he did to Francisco Vargas, a Mexican legend, I didn't like, man. That was a dirty, filthy fight. I'm always on here when you and Box Talk on. Yeah, shout out to you, man. You asking some good questions, Michael Blunt, man. I like you, man. All right. I think Tank fighting Isaac Cruz because he beats him. It will put Tank in the rankings in the WBA, WBO, WBC, and IBF. Cruz is ranked in all of them, but he's number 2 in the IBF. That's interesting. And considering Teofimo's going to move up in weight soon, being ranked in these sanctioning bodies, because all these belts are going to become vacant, is very, very important. So that is a smart move if that's why he's doing it. Bam Rodriguez will be ready for Inui in 18 months. No, he won't. Sorry. I like Bam Rodriguez too, man. I love his footwork. He's nice lefty, moves around. He has great defense, but well, then again, in 18 months, Inui may be older. The guys that wait, they age young. So you may be right. Now that I'm talking it out, I'm thinking it out. But Inui's a bad brother, man. Like, we got to stop those body shots, man. He's a real hard power puncher. I like him a lot, man. I like him a lot. I would have rather see Ortiz Ruiz. Yo, I don't understand. They're doing Luis Ortiz dirty, man. You got this guy who was beating Deontay Wilder until he got knocked out in both of those fights. And then Andy Ruiz, he fought Chris Arreola. This is a match made in heaven, but you know what? They don't want to put in Andy Ruiz with Luis Ortiz because Luis Ortiz isn't that popular of a fighter. And if he knocks out this Mexican, it'll do damage to their prized Mexican heavyweight that they got. So they trying to give Ruiz time training with Canelo. And, hopefully he could correct himself and, shed that fat he got and become a little bit more muscular before they put him in tough. I'm predicting that Ruiz gets a lot of easy fights from here on out. And then eventually, once Ortiz is too old or once Ruiz has proven that he's fully dedicated to the sport of boxing, that's when they'll move him in tough. I wouldn't even watch Charles Martin for free. Man, I don't know what they doing at PBC, man. PBC throws everything on pay-per-view. I ain't buying that. I'm guaranteed. I don't know. Maybe I'll go to my father's house and watch it, but I'm not buying that fight. I can guarantee you that. If I got to miss it and watch it on replay or wait a week or whatever, I can guarantee you I'm not buying Luis Ortiz versus Charles Martin. I mean, to be fair, you know how big I am on the undercards. If the undercard is lit and is worth the pay-per-view, I'll buy it. But come on, it's PBC here. They never give us the fights we want on undercards. They rather make everything a main event. But honestly, I'm criticizing from a fan's perspective. From their business perspective, it may make sense. I'm not knocking them. I'm just speaking from a fan's perspective. When it comes to PBC, besides Tank undercards and the undercard of the both Charlo brothers, besides those two fights, I haven't been fucking with their pay-per-views, undercards. I haven't, just being honest. I mean, they did good against the Wilder Fury undercard. They did good, but that was a top rank PBC pay-per-view. It was a mix of both. So they can't both. I'm not going to give them full credit. I'll give them half credit for that. Felix Trinidad, Ike Corte, Oscar De La Hoya versus Errol, Crawford, and Thurman. Whoa. Whew. All right. So I think I don't think Felix Trinidad beats Crawford, to be honest with you. That chin was weak. I think he beats Thurman. Does he beat Errol? I think he beats Errol too. Ike Corte. I think he loses to Errol and Crawford, but I think he beats Thurman. Oscar De La Hoya. Damn, man. Oscar De La Hoya. Whew. Does he beat the... I don't think he beats Errol or Crawford, but I'm trying to think if he beats Thurman. I don't know. I don't think he beats Thurman. I think Oscar loses to all three, to be honest with you. There's no knock on Oscar. It's just... I don't know. I just don't think he'll beat either one. But I may be wrong. Who knows? I don't know. Speaking of dedication, I'm very disappointed in Mikey Garcia. Dude has all the talent and pedigree, but fell out of love with the sport a while back. He should be in the conversations to avenge Ramirez. Meaning, what he means avenge Ramirez is to be in the conversation to fight Josh Taylor. That fight will never happen because Josh Taylor is promoted by Top Rank. And Top Rank really ruined Mikey Garcia's career by freezing him out and never giving him a fight of one of their champions. So what happened was I made a video about this. Don't look it up because the video quality is real bad. I mean, not the quality, the audio quality is real bad. This is when I first started. But I made a video a while back how Top Rank really ruined Mikey Garcia's career. When he was at lightweight, they Top Rank had Gamboa, who was a legit guy back then, Lomachenko. And so either of those two fights were big fights for him. But they were like, all right, if you want those fights, you're just going to have to sign an extension with us. And Mikey Garcia was like, no, I'm not signing an extension. Just give me the fight. Let the contract run out. And I want to be my own promoter and go on a fight-by-fight basis. But Bob Arum doesn't do business like that. Bob Arum, the way he does business is, if I'm giving you a title shot, I need options on you. I need you to stay with me. And that belt can't leave the Top Rank banner. You're just going to keep fighting Top Rank fighters. So that way, if you lose, I have the option to release you and keep the belt. That's the way he does business. Whether that's right or wrong, I'm just explaining to you how he does business. So long story short, he couldn't get none of those fights. At 140 at the time was Terrence Crawford, who was willing to fight Mikey Garcia. But again, he was also with Top Rank. So that's when Mikey Garcia moved up to 147 to fight Errol Spence. Obviously lost almost every round. And ever since that, he's just kind of, when I see his interviews, he says that the reason he moved up in weight is because he's not motivated enough to fight a tune-up. He has to fight somebody where he feels like it's a danger to lose. And that Sandor Martin fight, he probably was just Sandor Martin, man. I'm not gonna really train that hard. Like, is Sandor Martin? Like, who is this guy? Like, and he didn't train and he ended up taking a loss. And it's really bad because he could have been an all-time great. Had he stood with Top Rank, which I'm not gonna knock him for leaving because at the end of the day, he's made way more money since he's left ESPN. But had he stayed with Top Rank, he could have got the Gamboa fight, could have got the Lomachenko fight. He could have got the Terrence Crawford fight. And those are all legacy building fights. Right now, what's Mikey Garcia's best win? Orlando Salido? Maybe. I mean, I love Orlando Salido. Orlando Salido is one of the greatest Mexican fighters of all time. One of my favorite fighters to watch. Like, he's a very entertaining fighter. But yeah, he that was his biggest win. His biggest win could have been a Crawford, could have been a Lomachenko, could have been a Gamboa. But yeah, that's how it worked out. But yeah, I'm also very disappointed in Mikey Garcia. Shit, man, I forgot about Thurman. Been so long. Yeah, Thurman hasn't fought what in 2.5 years. I like he from what I hear, I don't know because I haven't spoke to anybody in his camp and I haven't read specific quotes where he says that, but he wants a particular number to come back. He's like, I'm not fighting for a low number, and since he's not fighting for a low number, he's not getting fights, because nobody's gonna pay a lot of money for you to fight a tune-up after coming back from a 2-year layoff. That's just the way boxing works. That's the way business works. Like, your name is not buzzing. Look, some guy just wrote, I forgot about him. So you think a guy who forgot about you is gonna shell out pay-per-view money? No, you're gonna come back to a tune-up. You're not gonna come back to fight a Spence. So from what I hear is that he's been pricing himself out. What is your opinion on the WBC Bridger weight? And I know so this is probably when I will get calls in and you guys will start blowing up on the chat. I like it, man. I like it because the heavyweights have gotten big, man. This guy, Fury, 270 something. What's his name? Joshua, 245, 250. Like, these guys are big. For you to put somebody in who weighs 205 pounds, these guys have no chance against these huge ass heavyweights. So I like the Bridger weight. It makes sense to me. Yeah, I believe the weight limit is 224 or 225. I want to say it's 224. So from 200 to 224, that should be a weight division in its own. So I know I'm in the minority, and I know some of you guys may disagree, but I actually like it. I think it's safer for the sport, considering how big these heavyweights are now. Sorry, man. All this talking, man. Keith sometime Thurman. Honestly, Bridgerweight ain't bad. Yeah, I don't like it. But honestly, anything new with boxing fans, especially coming from the WBC, had this came from the WBO or IBF, we would have been a little bit more receptive. But I think with the WBA and the WBC, us boxing fans are like, wait a minute, why are you doing this? Is this for extra money and this and that and that? And it may be that, but to be quite honest, it does make sense because there's a lot of guys there that shouldn't be fighting that heavyweight. Although Usyk beat Joshua, I do agree with the sentiment that Usyk beat Joshua because Joshua didn't fight his fight. But at the end of the day, Usyk did beat Joshua, and Usyk would fall under the Bridger weight conversation, right? So also we got to take that into consideration as well. So, see. Wilder and Usyk would dominate it. Yeah. I mean, that's honestly that's where Wilder should be fighting. Although, again, getting back to to Usyk beating Joshua, the first fight with Wilder and Fury dropped him twice. Also, and in the third fight, he dropped him. So nobody's gonna tell me that Wilder doesn't have a chance at Fury because he's always gonna have a chance with that power punch. Now, is it a great chance? Probably not. We've seen the fight 3 times, and it seems like Fury is the better man. That's just being honest. But Wilder does have that power punch where he can get somebody out of there. And if he wants to be champion again, he either has to fight Joshua or move down to Bridgerweight. Yeah, man. That's the way I see it. Man, Joshua, I was such a big Joshua fan, but I always felt like his mentality is weak, man. He needed a better mentality. And, I got a caller. Hold on. Sanchez, what up, my brother?
What's up, my man? How you doing, man? Can you hear me?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
All right. Hey, shout out to your channel, though. I just wanted to say that first of all. I just been watching you And you know, your content's pretty entertaining. I just wanted to bring that up. But
Thank
I'm
you, thank
glad
you.
you waited for me too, bro. I appreciate that too.
Nah,
Listen,
of course you my guy, bro. Hold on a second, my laptop about to die. But yeah, nah, you my guy, man. You told me you couldn't make it till 8:30. I was like, hold on, I'm gonna hang on till my man can make it, because you
yeah,
you
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 know,
you somebody who always supporting. So you know,
work and stuff. You know how it is. But
I feel you.
anyways, I'm glad I made it, man. Listen, I got some stuff I wanted to talk about because I've been doing my homework with this Teofimo Lopez and this Devin Haney situation.
Hmm.
And I don't know if I'm doing my homework right, but you know, you guys seem to have all the answers as far as the content creators, you know. And I'm just a guy, you know, outside the boxing ring, just watching in.
What's the
So
question, brother? Let me know.
the question is, all right. Everybody keeps saying that Teofimo Lopez is undisputed and he's not undisputed, right? And when I was looking at the fact that when they called in the fight with Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko, when they announced the fight, he was fighting for the WBO and the WBA. He wasn't fighting for the WBC title, was he? Because when I looked it up on Google search, he was just fighting for the WBO and the WBA. As a matter of
And
fact,
the
I'm gonna bring it.
IBF.
And, well, the IBF Lopez came in with it, right?
Oh yeah. Well,
So
listen, that's a whole mess. Now, if you see my channel, you know I think Teofimo Lopez is undisputed. Now,
right, but as of today, for me, and I've always thought he was undisputed.
yeah.
And for some reason today, I was doing my homework because yesterday you was like, "Oh, I'm gonna jump on the panel and I want people to, you know, come in, da da da, da, and ask some questions." So that was my main concern. If
So your
because
question
listen,
is, what's the situation with the WBC in terms of
right,
Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney? That's your question?
well, yeah, well, right now it seems like Devin Haney and JoJo Diaz are gonna fix that situation with the fact that Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia had the same WBC uh, lineal belt, right?
Well, let me answer your question this way. So there's a discrepancy as to who the WBC champion is. Right? Correct? Am I right?
Right.
All the other belts we know that Teofimo Lopez has. Is that correct? Is that fair?
Right.
Okay.
Well,
So
well,
since there,
I'm
what was that?
sorry. No, my concern is Loma. He vacated his WBC interim, right? And,
I know where you're going. Let me just break it down for you, and then after I break it down, if you still got a question, you can ask me. Don't worry
all
about it.
right,
There's
go
no
ahead.
time limit.
Gotcha.
So the WBC mandated Lomachenko to fight Devin Haney. So what Lomachenko did is he requested to be elevated, and when you're elevated means you're seeking a higher status within the organization. So he specifically requested the WBC, can he be elevated to franchise champion? Meaning the franchise champion is a higher designation than the regular champion. So the WBC approved this. So once he became the WBC franchise champion, the regular title became vacant. So that and
Right. Okay.
Devin
Okay.
Haney, excuse me,
Pause.
hold
Pause.
on. Devin Haney was awarded the WBC championship. He was not. He didn't fight for a vacant. He didn't be the champion. He didn't
But
do
didn't
anything.
he fight? Didn't he fight this kid? What's his name? Man, Zar. I forget this guy. I just got to look this up on this computer. I was just turning it
Now
on,
I'll
but
look it up for you right now. Hold on one second.
he fought this kid for the title, right? It was like a title. Da da
Nah,
da.
he was just awarded. That's why Teofimo Lopez calls him an email champ.
He was awarded for
Listen, man.
fighting that guy, though, right?
When you talk about Zaul Abdullayev, that's what you're talking about, right?
Right. So when he
Yeah,
fought
that was
him,
for interim belt. Intern.
intern,
Yeah. And then
right?
the fight
That's the
immediately after that, he got an email saying he was the champion and he defended against Alfredo Santiago. So my thing is, there's a discrepancy as to who the WBC champion is. So we should go to the WBC president, right, and ask him to clarify for us. Is that not a fair statement?
It is, but everybody
Okay,
keeps
all
asking.
right.
Everybody keeps asking Mauricio. Mauricio is like
what Mauricio says is Devin Haney is the WBC champion, and Teofimo Lopez is the franchise champion. And then when you ask him what's a higher designation, he says the franchise. So and then you ask him again, is Teofimo Lopez undisputed? He says yes. He's been asked before. So if Teofimo Lopez, it was on the Akin Barak show. They asked him if Teofimo Lopez fights Ryan Garcia, and let's say Ryan Garcia wins, is Ryan Garcia undisputed? He said yes, because right now we hold this special designation for special fighters, which is called the franchise title, and that title, once that designation is given, that's who we are recognizing as our champion. You understand what I'm saying?
All right, and then all these organizations are like, as far as like PBC, they're not recognizing Lopez as an undisputed champion.
Yeah, but PBC also counts Gervonta Tank David as a 3-division world champion because he got a WBA regular at 135 and a WBA regular at 140. So
right, that throws me off.
All these companies, they playing up a game. You know, they're trying to promote their fighter. They're trying to, even if they lie or fib for a little bit, they're trying to play these games with these sanctioning bodies. All of them, including Top Rank. I don't like the WBC franchise situation. But the thing is, if the president himself is telling you, no, that's my champion, that's the highest designation in my sanctioning body is the franchise. And yes, Teofimo is undisputed. And then the number one pound-for-pound fighter who happens to be undisputed himself after his biggest win in his career brings up Teofimo Lopez to the press conference to show his belts. At some point, you have to acknowledge that.
All right. Can you further explain this one more time to me? Because I really didn't get it. So when Lomachenko vacated that WBC belt, that was supposedly the one that Devin Haney's got, right?
Yes.
Is that what okay. So when he vacated that belt and he got elevated and gave him the franchise belt, Lopez beat him. Mm-hmm. Lopez earned his franchise belts, but
yes.
Isn't the franchise belt supposed to stay as a gift for that person since he asked to be elevated?
Teofimo Lopez petitioned the WBC before the fight that if he wins, he can also get this designation, which is, and it was approved, and he won, and he's the franchise champion.
Oh, so you answered that question. All right, so you answered my question right there. Because I was wondering how he ended up with the franchise belts, if there were any,
No, he petitioned before the fight. He goes, hey, listen, if I fight and beat Lomachenko, can I become champion, considering this is a undisputed fight? And Mauricio agreed. And also, you got to remember, Devin Haney didn't beat nobody for the belt.
But that's why I feel like he did, though. I feel like he did because when Loma released that belt, Devin Haney still had to go fight somebody else.
No, they just awarded to him. He had the WBC interim, and then
so over that fight,
he got elevated once he Lomachenko vacated. The best way to look at this is, who's the champion in the WBA? The WBA Super or the WBA regular?
The Super.
Okay, so the WBC franchise, look at it as the WBA Super, and then look at the title that Devin Haney has as a WBA regular. That's the way it goes. That's the way it should be viewed.
All right. Well, you answered some of my questions. I just felt like, for some reason, I felt like today was like I answered a lot of my questions as far as like why is Lopez undisputed, because I felt like Devin Haney fought the guy that Lomachenko gave the belt to. But I guess you're telling me no, he didn't give any belt to nobody. He had to earn, or how did that work out? That's what I'm saying.
So there was a tournament. There was a WBC tournament that what's his name?
Right. Punch keeps saying this tournament that he. I'm sorry I brought him up, but Punch.
No, you
Punch
don't
is my
apologize.
guy too. Punch is
No,
my guy,
shout
man.
out to
him.
Punch. I don't know him personally, but shout out to Punch
For sure. But you were
Yeah.
saying about the
Well,
tournament.
point is, before I get into the whole mess, because you kind of know how this works. So according to BoxRec, when Devin Haney fought Zaud Abdullayev, he became the interim champion,
Right.
WBC champion. Excuse me. And once Lomachenko got elevated to franchise, he got elevated from interim to regular champion. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But to be honest, like what I always tell people is, I don't dismiss when people tell me Devin Haney's a real champion. I don't dismiss it because all the fault lies at the WBC with this franchise mess. I don't like this franchise situation. One sanctioning body, one champion. That's the way it should be. It should be one champion, one division, but that's never going to happen. Right. One sanctioning body, one title. The WBA is trying to do it with the WBA Super, the WBA Regular, and the same thing with the WBC. They're trying to do this mess with the WBC Franchise, WBC Silver, Interim, and then the belt that Devin Haney got, the WBC Regular. Is like, it's too much, too much, and I don't like it at all. But at the end of the day, if the president himself is telling me that he's undisputed, and then an undisputed number one pound for pound fighter in Canelo Alvarez, after his greatest win, brings you up on his press conference to make you show your belts, that lets me know that he's undisputed. And you got to look at the track record. If Devin Haney's a champion, who has he beat? To be a champion, you have to beat somebody. Who has he beat? He hasn't beat anybody of note. Like, if you're telling me, how did Teofimo Lopez get his WBC franchise? Oh, he beat Lomachenko. Oh, shit, that's a good fight. How did Devin Haney become a WBC champion? You know how that happened? Well, he was the interim champion, and then he got elevated to regular champion once Lomachenko, and then he beat this guy, and it's like, what? Like, how are you a champion? How? No disrespect, man. I like Devin Haney. I don't know about all right, hold on. Yeah, you cut off. Yeah, you cut off, bro. You good? You was hearing me?
Yeah, nah, for some reason it dropped. The call dropped.
Nah, no problem. Well, so what I was saying is like, Devin Haney didn't beat anybody. He didn't beat anybody of note. Like, if you asking me, how did Teofimo Lopez become franchise champion? Oh, he beat Lomachenko. Oh, shit, that's a good win. How did Devin Haney become champion? Oh, well, he was the interim champion after beating Abdullayev, but then, he just got awarded elevation just after Lomachenko vacated. But, Lomachenko's still franchise champion. It's like, what? Like, if there's a dispute, there's a dispute there. There's not a dispute as to how who Teofimo beat. Teofimo beat two quality opponents back to back. Nobody on Haney's resume is better than Comey, because Linares was old by the time he fought him.
Right.
So you understand what I'm saying?
No, I hear you. I mean, like I would say, Lopez also defended the IBF belt too, when he fought
Exactly. No, but there's no discrepancy as to that IBF. That's why I brought up the WBC.
No, right. I hear you. Anyway, so what do you think about that Sean Porter and Crawford? I didn't hear if you were talking about that fight today.
No, it's okay. I did talk about it. I'll talk about it again. You my guy. So I pictured this fight going, I think Crawford wins 11th round knockout. And the reason why I say that is, one, Porter's very durable. He fought Thurman, fought Garcia, fought Spence, and didn't get knocked out in those fights. Fought Ugas, so we know he has a chin. But we also know Crawford has power. I believe 10 out of his last 11 fights, he's knocked out 10, and in his last 9 fights, he's knocked out all of them. So we know Crawford has power, and we know this guy's durable. So I picture a pounding of Porter throughout the fight. Like, he's gonna lose probably like the first few fights, like how Crawford always does. It's kind of similar to what Canelo, but once he figures him out, He's going to start using angles and just start little by little just chopping down that tree and landing hard punches and hard punches and hard punches. And after that, you know, I think either the ref stops it or Kenny Porter throws in the towel. And I think 11th round is about the time he gets him out of there. Hello? Hello? Well, I guess he cut out. All right, that was a good one. That was a good one. Yeah, man. If you guys want to call in, definitely, man. Yo, shout out to Sanchez for calling in, my brother. I really appreciate you asking good questions. I'm glad. I hope I clarified things with the WBC. You're allowed to have your own opinion if you think he's a champ, if Haney's a champion. But to me, Teofimo Lopez is undisputed. That's just my opinion, man. You know, this is easily settled in under 6 rounds by Tio. I don't know about under 6 rounds, but I do agree that Tio knocks him out, and that's where I know that's where you're going. What's his name? Geraldo Medina. I agree. I think this guy beats him. Pete the Boxer. I try to add you, but it says they need to connect their mic or cam before you add them. What's next for Shakur? They're talking about. I wanted it to be Oscar Valdez, but they're talking about Oscar Valdez fighting Navarrete, and I'm like, what? So where does that leave, you know, Shakur Stevenson? I don't know who that leaves him with at the 130-pound division because he can't fight Chris Colbert because of the whole PBC top rank mess. So, although that fight, I would love to see it. Let's see who's in the 130 division. There's Rakhimov. Oh yeah. All right. Now I remember. So they were talking about Shakur Stevenson fighting, what's his name again? Damn. Oh, Miguel Burchell, while Oscar Valdez fights Oscar Valdez. Damn, I'm having a break. Oh, fights Navarrete moving up from 126. I think the fight should just be straight ahead, man. Like, let's go. Let's make this a unification right away. But unfortunately, Top Rank, they have their plans. They like to marinate fights. And they want Oscar Valdez to fight Navarrete and Shakur Stevenson to fight Miguel Burchell. All right, we have another caller. Pete, what's up, my brother?
What's up, my boy?
How's it going?
What's up, man? How's it going?
Everything's going good. Where you from, by the way?
From Cali, bro. Where you from?
I'm from Brooklyn.
You from Brooklyn? Okay.
Yeah, BK. What's up, man? What's your question?
Oh, what you on the Valdez topic right now?
Well, I am, but if you called in for a specific question, man, then fire away, man.
No, I want to see what you talking about right now.
Well, right now, somebody asked me what's next for Shakur. So I saw an interview with Top Rank with Bob Arum where he said that his plans are to make Oscar Valdez fight Navarrete next, move him up in weight, and then have Shakur Stevenson fight Miguel Burchell. I particularly do not like this. I would rather him fight Oscar Valdez straight away. But, you know, these guys, when they have their plans, that they stick to it. They've been in this business longer than me, so they know what they're doing in terms of promoting. But as a fan, speaking from a fan's perspective, I would love to see Shakur Stevenson fight Oscar Valdez next, especially after we saw, Conceição put hands on Oscar Valdez.
He did. I still thought Valdez won, though.
No, but my point is, who's to say Navarrete doesn't beat Oscar Valdez and the fight's down the drain? Because if you make the fight with Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez, then you feed Navarrete to Shakur Stevenson. Let's make this guy the superstar. This is the Olympian. This is the guy who people are comparing to Floyd Mayweather. This is, let's make him the superstar. And I feel like somewhat like they're trying to make it easier for Oscar Valdez, which I don't like.
I think against the Conceição dude, I thought he was more like he wasn't focused, like due to all the things that were going on outside of the ring. Every interview he was asked about the testing positive, and on top of that, he was, Conceição was not a bum, bro.
I never said that. He was a
No,
gold
yeah, I'm
medalist.
not. But a lot of people think like, oh, he's just a nobody.
Nah, he was a gold medalist. He was a
gold
tough fighter.
Gold medalist, undefeated. He's a big dude too.
Yeah, and I didn't score the fight, so that's why I didn't go back and forth with you. But just off watching the fight, I felt he won. I didn't score it, which is my mistake. I should have scored the fight.
You felt Kyle?
Yeah. Again, I didn't score it, so I can't tell you, oh, yeah, he got robbed. He got this. I just felt he won, but again, I didn't score the fight. Because sometimes the feel of a fight is different just because the guy won the last 3 rounds big or something like that. So, oh, you fell off. I don't know. What's up with y'all? What's up with that connection, man? Yeah, falling out. Got T-Bud stopping him in 10. I got him in 11, so we got similar mindset. Canelo's a straight raw dog. Yes, he is. I don't know about raw dog. That sounds kind of sounds a little suspect, but yeah, he's a dog, man. I love him. I love Canelo, man. He's a great fighter. Tio knocks Haney out if he can get under his skin and get Haney to bang. If Haney runs circles around and around trying to get a decision. I think, honestly, that is what happens. He tries to run around and around and around. And I think he is underestimating the speed of Teofimo Lopez, the explosiveness of Teofimo Lopez, and the power of Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez will break him down to the body little by little. And once those hands starts coming down, like we saw in the Caleb Plant-Canelo fight, that's when you start going for the head. So I got Teofimo Lopez by knockout, but that fight's not in the books right now. So Oscar don't want no smoke with Shakur. I don't blame him because he loses that fight. That's a fact. I agree. Shakur smokes everyone at 130 until he gets Loma. That's a beautiful fight. Yeah. And to be honest, I feel like Loma is small for that 135. He should move down to 130. And then again, that's a big fight. That's an in-house fight. And you can take some of what Lopez got from Lomachenko. Stevenson could do the same. Yeah, I don't know why it cut you off, bro. It just cut off. It wasn't on my end. I was enjoying the conversation. So I don't know why you got cut off. Pause. Yeah, Sanchez, you caught it. All right, Tio's a better athlete than Haney. I agree. A lot of people underestimate the athleticism and power and explosiveness of Teofimo Lopez. I don't know why y'all doing that. I really don't. And Pete, yo, by the way, I don't want to cut your call short. If you want to call back, go ahead, bro. That wasn't me on my end. I don't know why you got cut up. Lopez is very good at closing the distance in the. I'm assuming you meant in the ring. Yes, very good, very good. He did that in the Lomachenko fight, going to the body real well, man. I really, really like Teofimo's performance against Lomachenko. Obviously, Lomachenko's a great fighter, one of the best southpaws of all time, probably top 10 southpaw or something like that. And hey, he's not that far past his prime, and Teofimo beat him. Teofimo's a special dude, man. Teofimo's a special dude. Loma should move down. I agree. I just said that. Right? He's small for 135, but I mean, he got all the skills. Yeah, you're right. He had 3 belts at 135. So when people go, oh, Teofimo Lopez fought up old Lomachenko. Like, bro, my man, he had 3 of the belts in the lightweight division. Don't try to take that win away from Lopez. You crazy? So yeah, that's how I think. Pete, what up, brother?
What's up, my boy? I don't know why that cut me off right there.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you finish your statement though.
Well, we're talking about the.
I think Oscar Valdez and Shakur.
Yeah, I think Shakur wins that, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the only person that could beat Shakur is Teofimo. Or maybe Loma.
You think Tank beats him?
No.
You think Shakur beats Tank?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Tank a hard hitter though.
He's a hard hitter, but if you look at it, every fight he's losing and he'll get a knockout. I thought he was losing when you got
that power. I mean, he's getting so does Crawford. Crawford pretty much does the same thing. He'll be losing and then land a right hook or uppercut and stop the guy.
You thought he was losing to Benavidez or what?
I don't remember that. That was so long ago. But
I know he was getting out jabbed by Kell Brook though.
Yeah, I don't think he was. I saw what was happening in the Kell Brook fight, so maybe he was, maybe he wasn't, but I saw what he was doing, so I didn't put too much time into it, too much thought into it. That's why, and the same thing with the Billy Joe Saunders Canelo Alvarez fight. He won what? He got stopped in 8. He won what? 3-4 rounds?
I think I gave him about 2 rounds.
Well, I gave him a little bit more. But point is, I wasn't worried. I saw what Canelo was doing. And I saw he was reading him. And once he got his rhythm, I was like, oh, it's a matter of when. Not if he's going to stop him. It's a matter of when. And Crawford is somewhat like Canelo in that sense where he likes to read his fighter.
Adjust.
Get his rhythm. And once you got a fighter's rhythm, start punching to know where he's going to be, not where he is currently. So I think that's what happened. Yo, Pete, you got any questions? Because I'm about to come off, get off soon. You got any questions? Before
who do you think beat Shakur? Anybody from 126 to 140?
I mean, damn, 140. God damn, bro.
He's a big dude.
Fucking, come on, man. I'm ask you a question.
Have you seen the picture?
So Josh, you think he'd give Josh Taylor problems? Come on,
Absolutely,
man.
Yeah, I do.
My brother.
Bro, have you seen the picture of him next to Regis Prograis?
Bro, Josh Taylor's undisputed. This guy just became just got one belt. He got one belt at 126 and one belt at 130. You expect him
if you look at
to
the
fight somebody
set,
at 140 for 4 belts? Come on, man.
Bro, if I haven't seen him lose a round, bro.
I know, but weight matters, bro. 2 the weight divisions. But Pete, I gotta let you go though. But thank you so much for the call, my brother.
All right, bro. I'll catch you.
All right, catch you. All right. Right, hold on. I got another caller. What's going on, bro?
Chilling, man. Chilling. What's good? You can hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. What's your name? Where you from?
Jason, Brooklyn.
All right, that's what's up. What's going on, Jason?
Chilling. You can call me Jay if you want. Simpler.
All right, cool.
So I've been wondering because I remember, a couple of years ago, everybody was obsessed with pay-per-view numbers, and after during the pandemic, they were saying boxing was dead, and now it's coming back. But it's been real quiet with the pay-per-view numbers lately. I haven't heard anything about anything. Like, I was wondering what did the Wilder Fury 3 pay-per-view did and stuff like that. Because remember, we were supposed to get Joshua Fury, and that shit just got killed, and that was gonna be a diamond. So I wanted to see if they hurt boxing business by, doing that and all the other decisions they've been making lately with like putting together fights and shit, and some of them being whack and some of them being good.
Well, the pay-per-view numbers for Canelo came out. Have you seen that?
Nah, I haven't peeped that.
800,000, bro. Boxing ain't dead.
That's pretty good because Caleb Plant ain't that guy. Okay.
And that's not even because Caleb Plant's not that big of a superstar where you could be like, oh, of course it was a good B-side. Caleb Plant's pretty unknown to the boxing world. And I'm trying to find right now what the pay-per-view numbers were for the Wilder Fury 3. Because actually, you're right. I never heard. They never announced it. I guess when they don't announce numbers, that's not a good sign. They announce these the Canelo numbers right away as soon as they came out.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because I know damn well Bob Arum was tight when Wilder came in and said I got that court arbitration, bro, and they was gonna do at least $1 million. Because the zone, they'll work with you if it's like a big pay-per-view fight, they'll have to just let it happen.
Yeah.
And Showtime, Disney, they would have been like, yeah, you're going pay-per-view. And Joshua Fury would have been crazy.
Bro. Yo, Joshua Wilder would have been crazy had they fought when they were both undefeated, but they did all that bullshit, 60-40, no, 70-30 and this and that, rematch clause, and that fight never happened. And so That would have been a massive fight. But you're right. Fury Joshua would have been massive, especially in England. They would have fought at Wembley in front of 100,000. First time ever a undisputed heavyweight championship fight between two British fighters in England. It would have been great, but it didn't happen. That's just boxing. Boxing always finds a way to shoot itself in the foot. But to answer your question,
I also asked that. Oh, my bad. Go ahead. I also bring this up because lately, a lot of guys have just been doing pay-per-view fights, and it's been like everything has been bloated to the point where I don't know how they even think they're making money off of this. There's no way you're gonna expect Americans to spend $60 a month just on pay-per-view for boxing. That's just crazy, bro. And
no,
every month there'll be like 2 or 3.
Yo, bro.
Yeah.
They're making Luis Ortiz versus Charles Martin a pay-per-view. They made Andy Ruiz. They made Andy Ruiz versus Chris Areola a pay-per-view. Like, it's getting to the point where it's disrespectful, like, to the fans. Like, what? Do you not appreciate us? Do you not think of us? It's I'm not buying that bullshit. Charles Martin versus Luis Ortiz. Some guy in the chat wrote, I wouldn't watch Charles Martin for free, let alone fucking pay a pay-per-view. So
yeah, he's trash, bro. He's garbage. Joshua put him out in 7. He's garbage. I don't know why they even bother.
Yeah, I don't want to see that fight at all, and I'm not paying for that fight. I may watch it a week later after, but I'm not paying for that. So, but yeah, there is too many pay-per-views. Pay-per-view should be like this. The Wilder Fury fight, I had no problem shelling out $80. The Canelo Plant fight, I had no problem shelling out $80. Porter Crawford, no problem. Now, I don't like this Isaac Cruz versus Gervonta Davis. I think that fight should be on regular Showtime, but they're making it a pay-per-view. And so, Gervonta Tank Davis does provide good knockouts. And the undercard is actually decent. I ain't going to lie. The undercard isn't that bad. So, I'll also take that into consideration when buying pay-per-views. But for the most part, there has been too many pay-per-views. I agree with you.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot for answering my question, bro.
Nah, no problem, man. Feel free to call in anytime, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate all the work you've been doing, bro. I remember working with you at Russo's and shit. So I'm like, okay, that's still well.
I remember now. I'm like Jason. I'm like, damn, sounds familiar. You say you was from Brooklyn, but yeah, I remember working with you at Russo's for sure, man.
Yeah, man. So keep doing your thing, bro. Thank
you.
man.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, man. I'm definitely out here putting a lot of hard work. Thank you.
No doubt. All
right, brother. All right, guys. I'm almost ending the chat, ending the stream. So if you guys want to call in, this is your last chance. I'll answer some of the questions in the chat, but I'm going to be ending this in about 5 to 10 minutes. So again, if you guys wanted me to answer, you want to call in and ask me a question, feel free to do that now. All right. As ridiculous question that is, Shakur is a great boxer. I'm not crazy about Taylor's skills. Yeah, but that Taylor power. Look who he be. He be Ramirez and Prograis. Come on, man. Give some respect to Taylor. Carlos, what's up, my brother? Where you from?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Shit, I don't think you've ever heard this one before, but I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Tulsa, Oklahoma. Shout out to Tulsa. What's up, brother? What's your question?
Well, bro, honestly, since yesterday, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm a huge Canelo fan, literally he could fight the worst fight in the world and I'll still be a little bit nervous because, he's my favorite fighter, ever. So I'm a little worried about the cruiserweight move, man. I'm not even gonna lie.
No, you should be. You should be. Because, listen, when moving up in weight is a significant advantage that certain boxers have. Now, if you remember when Canelo moved up from 160 to 175, he did have problems with Kovalev's size. Now, imagine adding 25 pounds to that guy. You know what I'm saying? This guy, Makubu, is a world champion for a reason, and there's weight classes for a reason. Now, I still think Canelo Alvarez beats him just because he's such a skilled fighter and he has a very, very high boxing IQ. But I don't think it's easy, and I don't dismiss the possibility of him getting clipped with a shot that he didn't see and get knocked out.
Yeah, bro. I mean, even before the Plant fight, like I was like, because it's usually funny because like the week of the fight or like leading up to it, I'll be like, oh yeah, he's gonna fuck him up and all that, and then the day of the fight, like like any boxing fan, like I'll get nervous, like oh shit, like I'll literally take my freaking like before the fight shit, and like I'll be nervous as fuck, and then after the fight, like after he knocked him out, bro, I was fucking on cloud 9, man. I was so happy, man. Like my parents were watching the fight because like we're all Mexican, so like we, like Canelo. Every time there's a fight, we just watch it. So man, I was the loudest one in the room, man. Because like I thought, honestly, I mean, I expect you to maybe be the same, but I thought at that point to 11th round, I thought it was gonna go to a decision. So I was already expecting a decision. So I was like, all right, it's cool. But when he dropped him first, it happened so fast. I was like, oh shit! Like it happened so fast. And man, Canelo immediately smelled blood. I knew it was over when he first knocked him down.
No, I knew Canelo was gonna get the stoppage once I saw the first round. And Canelo lost the first round. Canelo was cutting the ring off, had him in the corners on the ropes without throwing punches. So that let me know that Caleb Plant was afraid of Canelo and wasn't willing to engage. And if Canelo could cut off the ring without throwing the jab, without throwing any significant punches, that lets me know that he was going to get the knockout. And he proved me right. He got the fucking knockout. That dude is nasty, man. He's definitely number one pound for pound. But all right, Carlos, thank you so much for your call. I appreciate that, man. Anything else you want me to ask you before I cut you off?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just wanted to elaborate, man. Like, I still just, like, maybe it's because I'm biased and stuff. Or, I mean, just in general, man. Like, I don't know why people, like, I mean, I understand kind of like the Floyd thing, but I don't understand the hate Canelo gets, man. I mean, it's boxing, so obviously he's going to get some hate. But it's like, bro, this dude is literally fighting the best over and over again. Like, Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Plant, Kellen Smith, these guys aren't easy, man.
No,
and like,
I agree.
A lot of these other dudes' favorite boxers, like Charlo, like Benavidez, or like, you know, just like Devin Haney, like Gervonta Davis.
Yeah, they're not fighting the best.
Like,
they're not fighting the best. Yeah. No, I agree.
Fighting the best over and over, and like this, they're saying like, "Oh, you're ducking this person. Oh, steroids. Oh, this." It's like, man,
well,
I don't know.
Listen, man. Listen, people are always gonna hate the best. Go right now, and I haven't even checked, so this is not me telling you. Go right now to LeBron James Twitter, LeBron James Instagram. Check his mentions. His motherfuckers hating a 4 or 5 time world NBA Finals champion. There's people that hate Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? They hate Tom Brady, yeah, because he's the best. So when you at the top, you can never do enough to satisfy the haters. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how the world of sports is. When you at the top, you're gonna get hate. But all right, guys, thank you so much for the call, man. Definitely, yo, I'm doing this every Wednesday, so if you want to call in,
bro, next week I'm gonna definitely, come.
Yeah, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I appreciate you calling in.
For sure, man. Next week, man, I'll see you.
All right, thank you. All right, guys. All right, I'll give you guys one last minute to call in if you guys want to, but I'm gonna see what let me see. All right. See if I answer any last minute questions before I go. All right, this will be the last thing I'll answer. Well, I'll talk about these 2 last things unless I get a call in between. All right. Boxing is on the rise. In 5 years, it'll be up there with the other top sports in popularity. I don't think it'll be up there with baseball, basketball, football. But I do think in 5 years, like you said, it'll be more popular than the UFC. Because right now, UFC, I want to say, is a little bit more popular, but boxing seems like it's been making better fights and figuring out this whole promotional network situation. So, but no, I don't think it'll be up there with the other sports in terms of popularity, especially baseball, basketball, and football. No way. And you got to remember, football is not just NFL. It's also college football. And then the NBA is not only the NBA, it's also college basketball. So boxing has a lot of competition. Also, a lot of people don't like the pay-per-view model. Why would you watch a sport that you have to pay pay-per-view every now and then when you could just watch the Super Bowl for free? All right, this is the last one, unless I get a call, and then I'm going to end this live. That Zepeda and Vargas fight, though. So Jose Zepeda, nice calm dude from Cali, and some dude from New York, my city, was talking all that trash. Jose Vargas, grabbing his belt. They got into a whole little scuffle at the weigh-in, and then got knocked out in the first round. And a lot of people don't know is after the fight is some of Vargas's goons went over to the hotel where Zepeda was staying and like attacked his family and stuff like that. Some real like classes of shit. But yeah, nah, that's how it is. But all right, guys, thank you guys so much for coming in. Thank you guys for calling in and commenting and being a part of this. I really, really appreciate this. Again, every single Wednesday at 7 o'clock, I'll be on 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. I'll be doing this. I hope to see you guys. If you guys haven't subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button. Do that. Hit the like button so my stream gets more views. And I really, really appreciate that, guys. All right, guys, until next time. Peace.